Hello coders, welcome to another YouTube tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to integrate with Stripe API. This is a practical Spring Boot example. So let's get started. So we are starting by creating a new project for our Spring integration. So visit start.spring.io, then click on this, click Maven. Select the version 3.10. This is the latest stable version by the time when we are making this video. And for our group ID, we call it com.code.with.bisq. So for me, I'm just replacing this. And for artifact, I will say Spring integration. For all our integrations that we are doing in this playlist, we are going to add them on this project. So this is a demo project for Spring Boot integrations, and for our package, we leave it as this. So let's add our dependents. First dependent is web, and the other one is Lombok. So artifact Spring Boot integration. So let's open this folder. Yes, this is the project that we just created. So on the previous tutorial, I showed you the dependents that we are going to use. We are going to use the Stripe dependents version 2.1.2.0. So let's add that dependence. And there's this dependence that I want to add, that for Swagger. So if you haven't seen my Swagger integrations, check the link to the Swagger tutorial in the description, and also on the right corner you can see the Swagger UI integration tutorial. So this is the dependency for Swagger integration, and let's refresh our dependencies. Then the other for Swagger to work, we have to come into here and add some configurations, and these configurations are for Swagger, the Spring Boot to be able to read the Swagger configurations. So let's add a package. First package that you want to add is DTO, data transmission objects, and also another package is our API, and the another package is our service. So on this DTO, we want to have two DTOs, the one for Stripe token request and the other one for charge. So let's come into here and create these two new classes, Java classes, Stripe token, so this is the request that we use to generate a token. So let's add data from Lombok so that our fields will have auto getters and setters when we build the project or during compiler. So what fields do we need here? We need private string card number. We need also expiry month. We need also expiry year. It is a string CVC token. The username. The user is going to do this request, and a field, a success field, if the request is success or fail. Then after doing this, we can go to our service. Let's create a new service, Stripe service. So let's edit service. Our class will be editing version control. It can be used for dependency injection. And then in this one, let's initialize our key, our private key, our Stripe API key. So let's start by say private string Stripe API key. So we want to get this from our application YAML configuration. Let's import this from here. API dot stripe dot key. Then let's have our method init. So we want to initialize our API key here. So I showed you on the previous video how to initialize our API key. This is how we do it. Stripe.api key then equals to Stripe API key. So let's add this key onto our application YAML. So let's change this, or else I usually want to use it as an YAML. So let's reflect it from properties to YAML file. Then a YAML file is this format. Then for our API key, we have to get it from Stripe dashboard. So you can go to your dashboard and you can copy your Stripe key here, and you can paste it there. So you can click here and copy it and then paste it here. Then for server port, let's change our port. Server port, the port that I want to use here is 9091 or 9095. Then for context path, and for context path I want to use here it's servers. So each request that we send to our application will be API /integration. So each request to this service must have this path. After your port, you put API integration. Then here, for this method to be initialized when this object is created by Spring, we need to add a post construct. It will be initialized when this singleton class is being created. Then we can now go on to our method now to generate a token. So let me show you. We already have this logic to generate a token from the previous slideshow that I showed you. So let me copy that. Let me copy the code. So here we can get card number. So this code I showed you on the PowerPoint, the fields that we need to generate a token. So if the token is not equal to now and the ID of the token is not equal to now, it means we have a token that we use for recharging, and we set the token on this card detail. Then after that, we use that token for a recharging. So that's all for this method. We have this logger. So to add the logging with the Lombok, we just add it SL F4J. So we're able to log our error message when generating a token from Stripe. Then let's add the logic for generating to charge a card. So here we passed as a source, we passed a card because these are card details. Then a token is generated, and this token can be used only once. So to charge a card, I showed you the code on the PowerPoint, so I'll just copy the implementation. So we need this model to the Stripe charge DTO. So what is in that? We must pass an amount in the Stripe token, and that's all from this. So let's copy the charge DTO. I already have this DTO. Then we can import the class. So in this DTO, we must pass the Stripe token that was generated, username of the user who is sending a request, the amount, the success, this is the response, and the message, this is the message from the Stripe, the charge ID. When a charge was successful, an ID is generated and we pass that charge ID. So that's the only information that we need. So for your amount, that's all here. Then let's create an API, Stripe API. The REST API. It requests mapping, and then we must in this request mapping, let's say the endpoint, you start with Stripe and add the private. Let's inject our Stripe service. So let's make it private final. Then here you can say at all args, a constructor will be generated after running this project or during this compilation, so the error is now fixed. It's the same as doing this. It means everything, all arguments are inside a constructor is the same as this one. So if you do this, you have to remove this. So I prefer to use the Lombok way to reduce the number of lines of code. And for creating a card, we must do a post mapping, and so in creating a card, post mapping card token, and this is for charge. So we are calling the Stripe service, this one for charge. So the first endpoint that we are supposed to call is this one to generate a token, and the second endpoint is to charge a card. So the first request will validate the card, and if the card is incorrect, the token won't be generated. So if it's correct, that's when we call this endpoint. So let's test this, and let's test this one. Let's enable this. And it is running on port 9095. So port 9095. Then you have to come here and take this one, the context path. Then we say swagger UI.html. Yeah. So for us to use this, we must do the Stripe card token. We must generate a token first. So these are the fields that we are going to send. Let's try out this one. So the card that you can use, we already have a testing cards that can be used. So you can use 42 by 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then the month, you can choose any month, which is like a future month. I can say 06 means June. Expiry year, I can choose 25 means 2025. For CVC, just enter in 3 digits, and the token is the one that is being generated. So let's delete this, and the username is BISC, and the success like this. Then we can send our request. You can see a token is generated. So we can use this token to charge the card. So it is success. So the request to charge a card, it requires that token. So here on additional, here we'll pass this token, and for username it's BISC, amount it's 120 USD. This is coming from Stripe, message from Stripe, the charge ID from Stripe, and for additional, from additional, we want to get this ID that we want to ID tag, and let's say our ID is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0. Then let's test this. You can see this is our response. A charge was successful. We get a success from Stripe. with this charge ID. So let's go to our dashboard and go to payments and see. You see, this is the Stripe ID. This is the amount of 120 that we sent. This is $120, and this is the so payment succeeded around this time. As you can see, today is 24 May by the day of making this video, and it was a Visa card with this code 444444. So maybe you were asking, where do I get these testing cards? Yeah, the URL that you can use for testing is this one, with a list of cards that you can use to test. So it's Stripe Docs testing. These are the list of cards that you can use to test this one. I used this one. It's a Visa. You can also use these Mastercards, Discover, and any 3 digits and any future date. So I showed you how to integrate with the Stripe on this video. So for the next video, I will show you how to get the charge and also refactor this code on the next video. And with the help of the Stripe, you can see you'll be able to see all the transaction details, risk of insights, and the front end is okay, and it can define everything about the time when the payment was done, fraud risk, payment links, if there is any, based on the transaction, and it was succeeded. You can see here. If you want to see all succeeded, this one was successful. It means the card is funds to make that payment. If there was insufficient funds, maybe on the reward card, you won't see as successful. You can see it as a failure. So that's all for this video, coders. Thank you for watching this video. See you next time when we are implementing the charge and also refactoring our code. Salut coders. If you are new to the channel, may you please subscribe, like, share, and comment. If there are any integration that you want me to do and to show you with Spring Boot, just put in the comment section. I can create a video for that integration for you. Salut coders.